For now, the rallies are over. For now, the campaigning is done. It's a moment of relative quiet as Americans line up to exercise our most important right, deciding who will govern. In the midst of an unrelenting pandemic, some people are voting for the first time. Others are volunteering for the first time to help make this possible. It may be days before we know who won, but Michigan and the nation have already made a powerful statement about democracy. And as we come to you with Local 4 News at 6, a live look at several polling places in Detroit, Warren, and Pontiac.
Things have been going smoothly for the most part, although Help Me Hank is going to tell us about some confusion involving robocalls and polling places that changed without some people getting the memo. If you still want to vote, you've got a bit less than 2 hours. You need to be in line, remember, by 8 o'clock tonight.
Michigan has nearly 8 million registered voters, and turnout is expected to be extremely high. It already has been from what we've seen.
Our pollster Richard Zuba said he expects Michigan to shatter voter turnout records. The Secretary of State estimates 3 million absentee ballots will be counted. Add to that the predicted in-person turnout of around 2 million. And it all adds up to an expected total voter turnout in our state of more than 5 million.
And for the most part, those 2 million traditional Election Day voters have encountered few problems at the polls today, happy to say.
That there have been some issues, though, just a few. For a look at those, let's bring in consumer investigator Hank Winchester out there checking to make sure everyone's vote counts. Hank, good evening.
Kimberly, Devin, good evening to both of you. Let's get to some of those raw numbers. The Secretary of State telling us tonight 3.2 million absentee ballots have already been returned in the state, and about 19,000 people across the state went to register today. In fact, take a look at some video from Ann Arbor. This is one of the satellite clerk offices on the campus at U of M. We've been seeing longer lines at clerks' offices across Metro Detroit as people work to vote today. If you come back out here live here in Sterling Heights at this middle school, I want to show you the line here. It's been steady all day long since 7 a.m. this morning, taking people about 50 to an hour and a half, 50 minutes to an hour and a half to get in and out and vote. And as you'll see, long lines, well, they're expected, but there have been a few other small glitches. Some lines in some communities and some confusion and concern in others on this election day. We begin in Westland at this church, which has always been a voting location, but not today. It took some who came to vote by surprise.
Got here and doesn't look like this is a voting poll location, but I don't see any signs for a different location.
The clerk tells me notifications were sent out to voters telling them the location had recently changed. In fact, he tells me he's been working to get the word out since September. Yet some still had no idea.
It's frustrating because I double-checked the voting location to make sure that this was the right place, and to come here and it was the wrong place, it's not going to discourage me, but it may discourage other voters.
Then there's Demetrius Alexander.
Just going back and forth and then being discriminated, it's to feel like I'm being discriminated against because I have COVID.
Demetrius tells me he found out he had COVID-19 last week, and he went to vote in Detroit this morning, but was turned away. He was sent to another location where he was told he could vote curbside, but it ended up not being an option.
I just wanted to vote. I still haven't been able to place my vote.
Michigan Secretary of State says overall and so far, things for the most part have been smooth. Few glitches, some longer lines like this one in Sterling Heights. And as of right now, 3.1 million absentee ballots are being counted. Today, Michigan voters will break a record for turnout.
More people will vote in this election than ever before in our state's history. That's what we're on track for. And I'm proud to have been a part of this team effort.
Back out here live, so overall, so far, so good, but I could not stop thinking about Demetrius today, the young man in that story with COVID-19 who wanted to vote. So I put a call into the ACLU, wheels in motion right now to make sure that Demetrius is able to vote curbside, make his voice heard before 8 o'clock tonight. And again, if you experience any issues at the polls, I encourage you to get in touch with me or the Help Me Hank team. You can email me directly at helpmehhank@wdib.com. We're live here tonight in Sterling Heights. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Okay, Hank, thank you. And let's get a quick check on some of the other polling places, starting with Mara McDonald in Pontiac. Mara, how's it going there, and what's the atmosphere been like?
Hi, Kimberly. Piece of cake, actually. It's been a steady stream of traffic in and out of here, but no real lines, and in and out essentially in 10 minutes. You know, Democrats here in Oakland County are hoping for some pretty big pickups tonight, both at the county government level as well as 4 state rep seats that have been aggressively battled over. They think if they flip those seats, then they flip control of the state house. Now, I am in Oakland County tonight, but my colleague Priya Mann, she's in Macomb and live in Warren right now. Hi, Priya.
And Mara, I'm live at the Butcher Education Center, one of the busiest polling sites in Macomb County. Folks who are coming in to cast their ballot, this is what they're walking past. An energetic group of both Biden supporters and Trump supporters. Again, Macomb County proving once again to be vital to the fight for President Trump to retain Michigan like he did in 2016. Now, when it comes to absentee ballots, the Macomb County clerk tells me more than 300,000 absentee ballots were mailed. More than 90% have been returned. That is more than double the number they were seeing in 2016. We will be crisscrossing Macomb County all night long as those polls close and the numbers start coming in. Reporting live from Warren, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya, the high number of absentee ballots in this election, of course, poses a very unique challenge for the people tasked with counting them.
And they've been busy from the moment the polls opened this morning doing just that. Victor Williams is live at the TCF Center with an update on how it's going there. Victor.
Yeah, guys, so that number is now at 107,000 absentee ballots being captured and counted right here at the TCF Center. As you can see behind me, these folks are very busy, and more than likely that's going to be the case for the rest of the night. It's a packed house in one of the very large rooms of the TCF Center, where hundreds of poll workers are eagerly working to make sure your voices are heard. These workers have been up since the early hours of the morning, ensuring every vote is counted in 2020's election, and you can bet that will remain the case until later on in the night. What looks like a sea of white shirts and brown envelopes will ultimately help decide the direction of our country, with the state of Michigan being such a battleground state. But you may be wondering why the large number of envelopes this year, and that's because voters stepped up, making sure their ballots were cast early. And of course, there are heavy security measures, not just in terms of the voting, but also strict measures surrounding COVID-19. Every person must be scanned and screened before entering the building, and that's just to make sure that no one with the virus will be able to put the large group at risk. And as you can imagine, everyone that is here inside, they're all wearing masks. Victor Williams, Local 4. Back to you.
Okay, Victor. And with voter turnout expected to reach record levels, that means a lot of people who missed the last election are jumping back in, and some who've never had the chance to vote are experiencing it for the first time.
That can be pretty emotional, but in a good way. Sean Lay has a look at some of the big moments happening at the polls today. Sean.
We have really enjoyed telling family stories today. We're here at a polling precinct here in Southfield. Things really picking up now in the last 90 minutes or so. And you can see some of the people coming in behind me there to cast their ballots. Let's tell you, we want to introduce you to the Robertson family here in Southfield. They all voted as a family really early this morning. And the father of the family, Mr. Robertson, wanted his 18-year-old son to cast his ballot in person. He was very adamant about this, and here's the reason why.
I said, look, we're going in and your first experience is going to be at the polls. You're going to go stand in line if there's a line to stand in. You're going to fill out those little dots and you're going to see what the actual experience of voting is.
Orza Robertson wanted no part of early voting for his 18-year-old son, Orza II. His plan to be first in line first thing this morning.
So let's go do it. Let's go feel it. Let's go see what it feels like. Because if you really put it all in perspective, a lot of folks fought and died for the opportunity to do what you have this luxury and this privilege of doing. So let's go do it.
Did you ever say, you know, we can drop one off or mail one in?
Oh, every day. I said, even last night, I said, because he's talking about waking up at 5:30 in the morning, being the first at the polls. I said this could have been prevented if we dropped off the ballot. And he was like, no, I want you to get the experience.
Orza was not alone today. It is the experience of voting in person that first-time voter Carson Dorsey also wanted.
I actually had fun doing it.
First-time voters playing a huge role today.
What did it feel like to you?
I was like, man, I'm grown. Like man, I'm actually voting right now. I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew how to go about it. And I said, yeah, this is that time. And I just knew that I had to make those decisions.
Orza Robertson II saying, I knew it was that time. His dad, Orza Sr. the first, and Mom Michelle. We thank you for sharing the story, but we just loved sharing the story about in-person voting and really wanting Orza II to have that experience in person. Look, guys, here in Southfield, a 25-year-old just walked out. It was her first time voting. Said, what took you so long? She said it was just time to get involved, and that's what we're seeing today. Back to you.
All of those people registering today, as we were mentioning a short time ago, at the polls. All right, Sean, election night can be very dramatic, very exciting as we all watch the results come in.
But with the ballot count taking longer this year, it's going to look a little different. Steve Garagiola got some expert advice on how to take it all in without getting pulled in by misinformation.
This is the most contentious and confusing election day in our lifetime. So what can you expect tonight? And what part do you play in how the next few weeks unfold? Tonight, you may be among the millions who go to Facebook and Twitter to get information and share information. Bring along a healthy dose of skepticism.
It's going to be so easy to be caught up in gossip and conspiracy theories. We don't know who we're talking with. We don't really know.
Retired Brigadier General Michael McDaniel is Associate Dean of the Law School at Western Michigan. His field of expertise is Homeland Security. He knows how social media can be used as a weapon.
That was Putin's goal in 2016, and it's his goal today, is just to diminish public confidence in our democracy.
Bad actors inside and outside our borders will be hard at work sowing the seeds of doubt. So each of us must be vigilant.
Take the time to evaluate the story. Think about the who, what, when, and where, not just in the story, but the author themselves.
Don't be afraid to challenge, even your friends.
You can say to them, that's really interesting. How do you know that to be true?
With over 90 million mail-in votes and each state with different rules for counting votes, patience is key.
Nothing in the law anticipates that we will have the results on November 3rd. This is not TV. This is not a reality show. This is our democracy in action. If anybody declares themselves the victor, then they are just making an empty declaration without any basis in fact at that point in time.
The general says tonight everyone is called to duty. Be vigilant, be careful, be patient. I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
All right, Steve, we will be here on air and online updating you throughout the night. NBC News will kick off its Decision 2020 coverage at 7 p.m., and we will bring you updates every half hour leading up to Local 4 News at 11.
We've just learned Troy High and Troy Athens High are both moving to remote learning only for the rest of this week due to the COVID spike. A quick check on today's coronavirus numbers, too. Michigan is confirming 3,106 new cases over the past 24 hours. Along with that, the state is reporting 43 deaths, including 17 from a review of records.
Well, it's a great day to go out and vote, that's for sure, Ben.
Yeah, sunshine took over after that cold start, and believe it or not, we've got a lot more of it coming up. We'll look at that and the latest on Hurricane Ada down south coming up.
A local family is asking for help. Who do you know in the UP who can help them find their loved one? They thought she may have committed suicide, but her cell phone is still on the move.